Look at that no-scope. Unfortunately, that was not me that made that shot. That was, of course, Pamaj. He made this awesome no-scope in the middle of a search and destroy game, and I just thought we'd start off the video that way. But what is up, guys? I'm Inkslasher, and today we are looking at the final multiplayer map in DLC 1 for Call of Duty World War II. This map is called Anthropoid. Now, this is a really interesting map. It plays differently than many of the other maps in World War II, but more than anything, this map has an amazing backstory, which we're going to look at today. But before we look at that story, I just wanted to quickly kind of go over this map, how it plays, what it looks like, all of those kind of things. And this is an interesting one, because Anthropoid takes place in Prague, and it's different than the other maps in this DLC pack, because there's a lot of really long lines of sight. There's a lot of really long hallways, really long bridges, and that kind of thing, with a lot of open space, which means sniper rifles do incredibly well on this map. In fact, by the end of playing on this map, almost half the people playing on the map were using sniper rifles. Now, the interesting thing about the way this map plays is basically it's a circle. There's a big circle around the outside of the map, and then down the inside, there's kind of like this little waterway, this little canal. Now, you can go in the water in the canal and cross in that area. However, that area in the middle of the map is depressed, which means everyone around you while going through the middle of the map is going to be above you, which means they have an advantage. So it's really difficult to get through that center of the map without getting shot at or even dying. And because of that, most people are forced to kind of stick to the outside of the map, kind of travel around the perimeter of the map. And it just so happens that this map is designed in a way where all of those areas are very long hallways. Hence what I said earlier, snipers do incredibly well on this map because of those long hallways around the outside of the map. Even through the middle of the map, it's very wide open, very little cover, so even if you're looking towards the middle of the map, snipers are still going to excel to a huge extent in that area as well. As far as the aesthetic of this map goes, we really don't have any other maps quite like this one. If you look at all of the buildings throughout this map, they're all pretty much still intact. The city hasn't really been bombed, and the only other map that's really like this is another one in this DLC, which is Resistance. So all in all, we haven't really seen too many maps with these cityscapes with undemolished buildings, which is really interesting to see. It's kind of a contrast to what we've already seen in the game. Now, as far as the backstory of this map goes, it's really interesting. As I mentioned, the name of the map is Anthropoid. Now, it's based off of Operation Anthropoid, which was an assassination mission that took place in Prague during World War II. And yes, this map is designed after it. Now, I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail with this story, but I'm going to just give you the basics of it. So, basically what was going on is that the British were trying to kill this Nazi general named Reinhard Heydrich. Now, this guy was, as I said, in Prague at the time. So they basically inserted a bunch of soldiers into Prague to kill this guy. Now, at the time of the assassination, Heydrich was driving in his Mercedes convertible, and that is when the soldiers attacked. And when they did, there was this big gunfight until one of the British soldiers actually threw a briefcase with an anti-tank grenade into the Mercedes convertible. Then the convertible blew up, and in doing so, killed Heydrich. Now, this was a giant assassination at the time, and after doing so, there was over 13,000 soldiers arrested, and 5,000 of them were then executed because of this. Now, what's even more interesting is that on the map Anthropoid, remember that Mercedes convertible that we were talking about? Yeah, it's actually on the map, which is pretty cool if you ask me. So I guess that's your little history lesson for today, but aside from that, what do we know about this map is that long-range weapons are going to reign supreme. If I can recommend a few, definitely the Kar98, the Springfield sniper rifle. If you don't like those, you can use the Lee Enfield. On top of that, assault rifles do very well, especially ones with low recoil for those long-range gunfights, so the Volkssturmgewehr or the FG42 are both very good options for that. But guys, that's pretty much all I have to say about Anthropoid. Out of the 3 multiplayer maps that they added in, not including the war map, this one's probably my least favorite, but by no means do I not like it. I enjoy all 3 of the maps they added, which is actually pretty refreshing for a DLC pack. Generally, there's one map that I just really don't like, but for this map pack, I seem to really enjoy them all. But I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. Based off of what you've seen so far, which maps are you looking forward to? What ones are you not looking forward to? Let me know down in the comments. And also, if you enjoy the videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button. But guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the stars.